What is going on, guys? Noah Brewer here, back again with part 7 of the Q4 Spark series. We're flying right through these, and these videos are incredibly valuable, so I hope that you're enjoying them so far. Now, a couple videos ago, I made a video exposing my full product testing strategy, and towards the end of it, I showed you how to analyze and determine if a product is actually a winner, or if you should just turn it off and move on. But I left off basically at the point where if you got 2 sales within $80 to $100 spent, that's where I left off. So I didn't talk about what to do after that point, which is what this video is going to be right here. So today we're going to be talking about what you should actually do if you think you actually may have a winning product, whether it's slightly losing a little bit of money or breaking even or even profitable. What are the next steps to actually transition into scaling so that you can start hitting bigger numbers and get to that $1,000 a day, $2,000, $3,000 a day point? So like I said, in the last video that we talked about this, we left off at a point where if you have 2 sales at $80 to $100 spent, then you should not turn the product off and probably retest it. What I meant by that is when you get to this point, you have 2 options. Option number 1 is basically killing the original campaign and then recreating a new campaign, which we'll talk about in a minute what that new campaign should be. And your option number 2 is letting your original campaign run into day 2 and also making a new campaign for day 2. So obviously, if you're on a tighter budget, makes a little bit more sense to turn it off and then recreate a new one. But if you don't care about the budget and you want to give it the highest possible chance of working and just set things up better for down the road, then I would recommend leaving the original campaign on when you make the new campaign. Now, for the new campaign itself, you also have 2 options. You can either make a new campaign and leave everything exactly the same, or you can make a new campaign and change one variable. Now, what variables do you change? I have a video coming up, I believe it's the video that's going to be uploaded after this one, where I will be showing you exactly what variables are the best to test at what different stages, how they perform, like which ones have the highest success rate, the timing, the best times to test out each different variable. So things like new creatives, different optimization goals, different targeting, things like that. I'm just gonna give all the variables out so that you have a big list of them and you can basically determine what would be best for your specific scenario. So again, either kill your original campaign and then make a new campaign, or leave the original campaign on for day 2 and then make a new campaign. And then for the new campaign, either recreate the original campaign in the same exact way or recreate the campaign and change a variable. Now, I will say that how do you determine what the best thing to do is? Because these things are very situational, and what you need to do in your specific situation is going to be different than what another person may do. I would say in the scenario of if you were breaking even on your first day, then it's not that bad of an idea to just recreate the campaign in the same way, because most of the time, day 2, for whatever reason, usually yields better results than day 1. So most of the time, by changing nothing, you can get better results and see how the product would do on a different day. However, if your results are really bad, like let's say you spent $100 in sales and you did like 60 in revenue, then it may make more sense to actually change a variable. That way it has a higher chance of working. So I would say if you're breaking even or profitable, it's probably safe to just leave everything the same in the new campaign. But if you're losing a little bit of money and you think it could do a little bit better, then it makes more sense to try out a new variable. Now, this arises the question, why are we turning off the original campaign or making a new campaign in the first place? Well, I think creating a new campaign has a higher success rate than letting a campaign run. So for example, if I created 10 campaigns and then let those 10 campaigns run into day 2, I would see on average 30 to 40% of those campaigns on day 2 actually end up being profitable. But if I take those same 10 campaigns and then turn them all off and then create 10 brand new ones on day 2 instead of letting it run, then I might see a 60 to 70% success rate with those new campaigns. This is just an observation that I've made. It's statistical for me. I don't have the exact numbers and exact percentages, but I know for almost a fact that creating a new campaign will almost always yield a higher chance of success than letting a campaign run. I'm not 100% sure why. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but we're going to get into it in the scaling observations video, which is coming up here shortly. All we're looking for on day 2 of the test is either equal or better results, depending on the situation. Obviously, if you're unprofitable on day 1, then day 2, you're going to be looking for a little bit of profitability or at least breaking even. You're going to want to see an improvement on the net results of the campaign. But if you're already profitable, like let's say you have a 3 to 4 ROAS on day 1, 1, and then day 2 comes around and you also have a 3 to 4 ROAS, that's also a great sign because you were doing good to begin with. So it didn't get better, it didn't get worse, but it's still good. So we're not going to be going into the entire scaling strategy in this video because I want to show you all the different variables that you can test, my scaling observations. So those 2 videos are coming up before I release the entire scaling strategy. So look forward to those. But at least for this stage, like the initial scaling, initial testing phase, I would probably recommend just killing and recreating, or letting it run and recreating at least 3 to 4 times, where you only have like 1 to 2 campaign running per day before transitioning into the actual scaling process, which the actual scaling process is very, very similar to this. It's just a little bit more aggressive and we're going to be spending a lot more money. I would recommend staying in the initial scaling phases for at least 3 to 4 days. Make sure that the product is going to consistently be bringing in those results and it's not just a fluke on day 1. And then once you get to that point, then it would be good to watch a couple videos from now when we're going to be going into the full scaling strategy and how to actually scale to 1 to 2K per day. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. Now, if this quarter 4 Spark series is really, really helping you out, I'm expecting it's going to make a lot of people a lot of money during this quarter 4. Leave a like, guys. It really helps with the algorithm. And leave a comment, leave feedback, questions, whatever. You can join the Discord if you want to see the videos that are coming up and also communicate with me directly about the things that I'm talking about in this video. Leave a like, subscribe, turn on notifications if you want to get notified when the next videos come up. This is Noah Brewer and I'm out. Peace.